sex and making love in a relationship is totally different.
My name is Corey Brown.
Hey y'all, my name is Bubbles Alezi.
And this is Caught Up. First question, is sexual incompatibility a deal breaker in a long-term relationship?
Hell yeah. I'm gonna have to put it this way. If me and my partner is having sexual intercourse, every single time that we're doing it and I'm not getting satisfied, then that just makes me less and less more in tune to want to do anything with you sexually, because I know that you're not doing your job. And I feel like most people fail to teach their partners how to maintain their body and show them hey, this is what I like. This is what I want you to do for me. This is what I need you to do for me so we can be here. Because people fail to ask questions. Be like, hey, how do you like to be kissed? How you like this? How you like that? How you like this? And I feel like if y'all don't have that communication to try and figure out where the sexual, is coming from, then it's not gonna work out. But what I will say though is that if you're a person that only cares about sex in your relationship, then your relationship will never last because it was built off of just sex and not the love. If you can love your partner, you would try your best to teach them. And I feel like there's other ways sexually for your partner to stimulate you if it's not working one way.
I like what you said, but you have to be willing to want to learn how to be taught.
I agree.
Again, it takes both parties to be real, even if it's a very uncomfortable situation to have with each other in order to even get there. And also, I looked at this as a layer question because is it incompatible because it lacks communication, or is it incompatible because of other factors, like whether it be health? A lot of times, something happens to somebody and you have health and then you're not having sex as often. Is that why y'all not incompatible? And then that standpoint, you really love that person regardless of even that situation. So it really depends on each situation and diving into what's the root cause.
What I will say though is let's take it surface level here. Mm-hmm. Let's just say that me and my partner are not compatible because we just can't get the logistics of our bodies down. I feel like, and that's where most common problems come from, is because you want this, I want this, and we can't come to an agreement about what we need in the bedroom. And me personally, I can say I've had this problem with a partner because I feel like you're not understanding what I want, even after I told you, even after I was just let me know if you're uncomfortable, and you are not willing to reciprocate that. And I agree with you with the reciprocation. You have to be willing to want to learn, because it's like giving a dog a treat for doing absolutely nothing. I'm not gonna, and I also feel like it also does, communication really does play a part into what you guys can and cannot do. Because if you're doing something to me that I dislike and I'm not saying anything to you, that's a turn off. I don't want it. If I'm doing something to you that is just too much, you probably don't want it. So I just feel like it just comes with what the boundaries as well. Everybody has boundaries. If you can't take it, if you don't want to take it, if you don't need that, that's something you just don't want. I feel like everything just comes with the communication, what you guys need, your needs and wants, and about you guys really coming together and being like, hey, this is what's going on, because sex can be a deal breaker.
It can be. Like you said, it really has to be communication. You have to be vocal about what you don't like and what you do like.
Yes.
And sometimes you, in a relationship, especially maybe if y'all younger, you might not understand truly what you don't and do like. You're trying things, but that's why you get even more vocal about when y'all are trying things about what you like and what you don't.
But sex is so repetitive too. Mm-hmm. And I think this is the problem. Sex is so repetitive in the sense of positions. We all know the end goal.
Yeah.
We all know the end goal. But at the same time, it's just and also it's about spicing stuff up too. And on top of that, I think it's not even about the sexual, not having it or whatever. I think it's also about intimacy.
It is.
We've mentioned that, the intimacy. If you don't have no intimacy with your partner, yes, y'all can wham bam and call it a day. But I think sex and making love in a relationship is totally different. Yeah, people who have their little quickies, people have this, but if you're really sitting there wanting to make love to your partner, you will try to figure out the ways that you can make love, because anybody can have sex. Not everybody can make love. Mm-hmm. That's where I stand with that one.
Then it goes back to love languages and the way that we like to show love the way that we like to give love, thinking that's the way that everybody likes to receive it, but that's not the way that everybody likes to receive it. So things that you might like, I'm showing you love because this is what makes me feel good, but that's not the way that you like to receive it. And understanding that disconnect and be able to resolve it.
I agree, because I feel like if your love language is physical touch, let's say me and you are partners, Greg. Mm-hmm. If your love language is physical touch and my love language is gift giving, and all you want to do is have sex with me, because that's the way you want to show that you do love and care for me, but all I want to do is buy you presents, then that can also be, however y'all say in English, incompatibility, whatever, because that's not my first language for real. But you see, like, if it's not gonna work. You guys have to find a common ground. But I also feel like I don't need to make an appointment with my significant other to do what I want to do with them. Do you see what I'm saying? So I agree with you. It really does matter about the love language. Because if your love language is different from mine, then we got to find a common ground. Because if we can't find it, then it's going to be hard.
Then it goes back to what you said earlier about intimacy.
Yes.
Because, again, even with my love language is physical touch.
Mine too.
It might not, even though I do like sex, don't get me wrong. But, like, it doesn't necessarily always have to be sex. It can be, just simple things. Holding your hand,
cuddling.
Yeah, like I'm always like have some type of my body touching my partner.
Don't put your toes on me.
I will. But look. Like, again, I really do like value touch like that, and it doesn't necessarily have to be sexual touch. Not, for some people that can be too suffocating and too much and get overstimulated.
Yes.
So you also have to like understand your partner, like, and meet in that middle ground.
Okay, so I just want to add on to that question that was asked. How would you feel if you have a partner that is not as sexual as you? Because that will come with the sexual compatibility, though. How would you feel?
Well, as somebody who has had that, since love is deep, I value the love of that person so much. I don't hold sex as such a high standard, even though, I like to find time, but like, I know that this is my person forever.
That's hard for me, but we're going to go to the next question. All right, you guys, so we're going to hit this next question. Okay, it says, is it better for partners to share all their passwords and personal information or to maintain individual privacy?
In a relationship, as much as you are one, you need self-identity. You need to be oneself. You should be able to be your own person. Even in a relationship, you should have time to yourself, or you go hang with friends, whoever, alone. Because I get tired of my partner. No disrespectful way, but no, that's being for real. Like, in a real relationship, like you can spend so much time with a person sometimes, and even little things will irritate you from time to time. But you do need time to do things you like on your own. There's certain things that my partner don't like that I like, and I don't want her to be down when I'm doing this. I just enjoy doing things myself sometimes, vice versa. So I'm
not sharing all my passwords and all my private stuff with my partner, because I feel like as my partner, we should be able to trust each other. But I also feel like that is doing too much, because now I feel like you really nosy, then I'm being really nosy, then it's just like I feel like when you do that, you give a gray area of wonder. You give somebody to wonder, be like, your phone is going off because they're getting a notification on their social media platform, and then you're sitting there like, I wonder who just texted them. Then you over there trying to be nosy, trying to find something before they do. I'm not doing that. I'm not going to sit here and put myself in a position to the point where I'm wondering what my partner is doing. Because at the end of the day, I've had other partners in my life where I didn't want none of that from you. I needed you to be transparent with me. Don't lie to me. Be transparent. Just tell me what's going on. Because I feel like if you can open your mouth and communicate with me and be like, hey, this is what's going on. If you feel like it's something that needs to be told to me. For example, an ex-girlfriend calling or texting, or ex-girlfriend trying to get back into communications with you. I would rather you tell me this than me having to go through your phone and finding it. And I agree with you. I don't like being around my partner all the time. I like being my own individual person. and I like being in my own space as well. Don't get me wrong, I like being in my partner's space too. But it gets to the point where sometimes you feel like you're overstepping, and that's where it goes with the personal information things. Like that's an overstep of boundaries. I feel like I feel like if you can't trust your partner at like to that point where you need all their social media platforms and all their passwords to their phones and their computers, you need to rethink your stance on your relationship. That's how I personally feel about it.
I definitely heard that question completely wrong at first.
Yes.
Like I thought it meant like, oh yeah, share. Like I thought it meant like sharing, like sharing.
Do you want to read the question?
Huh?
Do you want to read the question?
No, I get it now. Like now I get it. Like but like I don't see nothing wrong with sharing passwords. I feel like if you trust your partner no matter what. It really don't matter here or there. From a business standpoint, when you do like different things, like if you're somebody who does business stuff with your partner, like it is good to have passwords and stuff because y'all be
boom boom bam.
Yeah, to stuff like that. So that's kind of like why we have it. But yeah, I definitely misread that question. Heard that question wrong.
I'm not sharing passwords. I feel like it gets to the point. It's different things. Like if we share passwords for like Netflix, or we share passwords for Hulu or for Max or something like that, then yeah. And I feel like most women do it more than men though. Most women be like, oh, I want the password to your phone. And one thing about it, two things for sure, I'm not going through your phone. No. Because I refuse to get my feelings hurt. When I see your notification go off, I'm not looking left, I'm not looking right, I'm not looking forward. I'm gonna be blind. Because I feel like, not saying I'm trying to be negligent, but I'm also more so just like, what you do in the dark does come to light eventually.
Yeah.
So from a business standpoint, I agree with you. From a personal standpoint, I need my individuality before I sit around and I feel like most people feel like in a relationship you're that person's shadow, and I don't need to be nobody's shadow. That's personally how I feel about that.
See, and then I do feel like it's that goes back to being, it depends on the person. Because again, if you're somebody who's not going to take that little hint and be like, it tempts you to a point where you're getting insecure about yourself, different things, then it's fine. But I think as long as you're somebody who's strong enough to withhold that and trust your partner. Again, it goes back to trust. If you don't trust your partner, you shouldn't be with them in person anyway.
I agree. I feel like trust, I feel like there's three things in a relationship that is like you need to have trust your partner, you need to be able to communicate with your partner, and you guys have to come up to some loyalty as well, because all that falls and plays a part within each other. You can't have this without the other. You can't have that without this. So I feel like if you trust your partner enough not to need their stuff, then that just builds a better bond. Because at the end of the day, it's just like, if you have your partners, let's think about it. You're trying to plan something nice for your significant other, and then all of a sudden your significant other goes through your phone and figures it out. It's like, damn, you're so nosy to the point where I can't even do nothing nice for you. And that's a little overstep of boundary. You're not gonna say, oh babe, don't go through my phone today because, don't do it. I think she's gonna look at you, or he gonna look at you and be like, what you talking about? Why can't I wasn't gonna plan on picking up on your phone today, but I'm gonna pick it up today.
Because you acting weird.
Because you acting weird. Like you acting weird. So I think that's pretty much all I have to say about it.
I agree with you.
Yeah. All right. Thank you for watching this episode of Caught Up.
Make sure you tune in next week.
Bye.
If you enjoyed this episode of Caught Up, you can check out more down below and some of the other videos on the channel. Also, hit that subscribe button and hit the notification so you can always watch Caught Up and just more Lark content in general. Hope you guys enjoyed. Have a great day. Peace.